No! Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Is the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross this burning bridge?
Are you taking a shot at Phoenix for falling through the bridge?
So it was just a misunderstanding, I see.
This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken in the morning after the incident.
There's a dangling rope!
It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing that the whole bridge didn't fall, and if that photo is upside down...
That photo's not.
No, I was...
Oh, the drawing!
Yeah.
That's how she was flying!
How was she flying?
Whee!
So they wrapped the
rope around her
and flew. Well,
Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition.
Dusky Bridge photo taken the morning after the crime.
Swing it hard enough and it just snaps and floats through the air.
Yeah.
Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder.
Right. I'm only going to say this one more time. It's only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways.
The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes.
Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination.
Moving the body. Other than walking over to the bridge, there's no way to move the body.
Cool. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place...
I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Goto said. If the body did make it across somehow. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess.
But you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook?
Was it still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much?
This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally it was,
You see? It's not that easy to remember, is it?
a lot like your sister. But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. Wrong again.
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, right?
What?
By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Or you're saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge?
Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way to cross.
Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? Did anybody actually witness? There was. I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something.
I'm all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. How do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. Start by examining all my evidence and see where it takes me. Gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm good as dead. Hiya! Dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility.
What?
Huh. You're saying it's possible. Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air.
I don't know about that. In any case, We have a witness who did see it happen.
Monsters!
I'm gonna need take 2 on that preposterous. Come on, give me a go.
I thought that was really good, honestly.
Drink some water and then spit it onto the mic. Go.
Oh, no.
Where's my water? Oh, there it is.
Who is it? Who is this witness?
Can't chicken out here. I gotta keep on the attacking. Go, 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 go. Miss Elise Stonum's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Larice Stonum!
Brilliant!
Highly gifted. Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony? That night, he was at the Mountain Shack Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. Ugh. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night.
Yuck! Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument?
Uh-oh.
Judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket.
Huh. Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it does. I'm going to prove it.
Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down.
It's a good song.
If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with a sketch?
I think here's George the movie.
No.
That song was, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's the opening song to the movie.
Mm.
Upside down. Why did Godo say that?
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Louise Stonum is upside down.
Oh, well.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Of course, the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh!
You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness.
What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear.
Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air?
Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet.
Yeah, I wish they had.
Even if you're a lousy lawyer, it's at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time.
There must be some way. I just know it. There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened.
Alright then, witness, we will return to her testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
You blew it!
Oh, okay, yeah. Ah, you're fine.
Hold it! That's the wrong button. It all comes back to this.
Okay, we're looking at this again. Okay. Oh! It's, there we go, yeah. Complete contradiction. Because it's upside down, but yeah, it's exactly what happened, but it's upside down.
Something is obviously funny about this sketch.
I'm no art critic, but even I can see that.
No. Not what I meant, Your Honor. Louis Stonum stated it over and over. This sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
Contradicts reality? Huh. This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trite. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it?
The wires. It's the wires connected to the bridge.
The wire?
Huh. Is that the thing that contradicts reality?
It is indeed.
Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that was point out how the sketch contradicts reality. Actually, yeah, tell me what it is.
That it's upside down? Or how it contradicts reality?
How it contradicts reality.
The direction that she's going.
No?
That the rope's broken?
Close.
Oh, the ropes are underneath it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct?
Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge...
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I never said that. I always just said jumping Joseph.
Hmm.
The wires are below the guard wires.
Bullet!
Bullet? Where?
Order!
I don't have one!
Alright, who's channeling Von Karma?
This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong. Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong.
With someone like Luis, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason?
Are you saying you know the answer to that?
Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Luis was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come.
Oh.
He waited and waited and finally laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Luis must have been in at that time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did.
He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates.
But it does, Your Honor. That's the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down.
Huh?
No way.
Luis Stoneham witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down.
So then, this sketch should actually...
I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Luis Stoneham sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. Victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right. Just like a pendulum.
Ridiculous!
Beetlejuice.
Order, order, order!
Of all the things to say, a pendulum?
The bridge was burning to a crisp. There's no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused a problem. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across the other side, and a pendulum was the only way to get it done.
Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff.
Yes, that sounds right.
In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead.
The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So that they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them.
What?
I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there.
In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create the pendulum?
It's the rope from the front of the
What rope are you talking about?
I mean, they just used the support rope.
Yeah.
And the meaning of this is...
You want to know where the rope came from? It's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard.
Ah! It is glorious. This is one of the wires from the bridge.
The lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire. One of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste. So they tied the wire around Elise Stonham's body. And yeah! Right into the side of the cliff. Yippee! Because there was simply no other way to move the body.
Huh. I don't get to do that one.
Let's not do that.
Mr. Goto!
It's bad enough I gotta deal with that noise.
Seems that Mr. Goto is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high, so I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all.
Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Right? I wonder if we could prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum?
Bruises on the body.
Wow.
Were you expecting that to give me some trouble?
Yeah, a little bit.
Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped.
Yeah.
Look at the map so we can see it. See, it's the one that was in front of the inner temple.
So then, that was the spot where the criminal...
Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, whee, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point.
Did you say drop?
Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that actually happened?
Well, one, you're nervous. Two, because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death.
10 feet, huh?
That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Miss Elise Stonham's staff. And even more important, it is the place where the crystal sphere was found.
Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found.
Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed.
This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way the body could have been moved that night. Did somebody slap me? An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive.
Ah, that was the noise.
Mr. Wright?
I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Goto?
That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Chite. But you forgot about one thing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The aroma.
Huh?
The coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma.
I guess the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more?
If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you say, then naturally, it must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it.
And an accomplice.
The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So, who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, trite?
Mr. Goto is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do.
Yes, Your Honor. Body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice.
Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side?
It was Iris. The person found with the body by Bikini. It can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? Ah! But I...
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it.
Trite, were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on the cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath.
I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Goto? This witness was also seen as at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
Mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness. I have established how the body was moved using the burnout bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How could you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this?
Is it the mom? Did the mom break out and she's pretending to be?
Morgan Fay doesn't have spiritual powers.
Yeah.
Okay.
You!
That's why she's doing this.
You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is?
Was I right from the beginning of it being Dahlia? I swear to God, man! You keep trying to confuse me! Going, no, that's not how it worked. I had it right!
That's what you say.
No one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at this witness stand. Her real name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Hawthorne?
Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine!
No, the honor is all mine. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom.
Whoa, what? Woo, woo. Order, order, order.
Wait a moment. How could you... My sister... She's already dead. What kind of...
You of all people should already understand, after all. The blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body.
The Korean channeling technique. Now where have I heard that?
That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia currently inhabiting the body of the spirited medium.
What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was?
Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes.
We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens?
Uh-oh. Sorry, Pearls. Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written here. Right here, in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple.
2 of them.
Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That
means that the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris.
And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her. Namely one Dahlia Hawthorne.
Do you even know what you're saying, Chite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing at the witness stand is the real Iris.
What? What?
Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike.
Whee! Ow!
It was later that the body was moved by pendulum.
That's right.
Actually, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall, where they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center.
Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that.
Thank goodness. Looks like he's finally convinced.
Something still seems off. Way off. Still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night.
I suppose you were about to say something really ridiculous? Like, the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places?
Switch places? Kissed faces? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means we must switch places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
Since she was at Hazakura Temple.
Yep, since she got arrested. Has there been any chances?
Yes.
What,
The earthquake. Okay. When she ran off by herself. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance.
Oh, explain yourself!
Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown.
Unknown? What do you mean?
What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised.
Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that?
Sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to freely move about was Edgeworth.
What the fuck, right?
Oh shit, he's in the stands. Get out of here, Edgeworth.
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it?
Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not?
An earthquake? Hmm. Ooh.
Earthquake! Oh my goodness, the inner temple. This kind of triggered weight. Oh my god, it blew up. We got to see what Hiroshima looked like.
How could I have? She fled. She escaped. Fuck.
We went to the inner temple right away. Straight to jail. And it's true Iris was already there. However, it had already switched places by that point in time. Oh. So the real Iris has locked herself in the channeling area.
Also, when we were talking to her at that point, you said that, man, she's talking a lot like Dahlia. It's like, oh yeah, interesting point, yeah. Maybe because I switched over to Dahlia. Nah, that can't be it.
Does that mean that we're talking to Maya right now?
We're talking to Maya right now? Well, no, we're talking to Dahlia right now.
Well, I know, Maya channeling Dahlia.
I suppose we should ask who is channeling Dahlia right now, but we'll get to that later.
When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hoffman.
That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here, no judge in his right mind would consider the idea of...
Be quiet. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for a name and profession. That's one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne. And my current profession? Permanently retired. Huh. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you could do to punish me.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. Never thought we'd meet again. I never thought we'd meet like this. This time, I'll end it. For her and for myself. Put him up.
Put him up.
Oh my god, he's punching Dahlia. Stop it! Sorry, I watched Invincible. I thought that was the way that we end things.
Yes. Think!
Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness.
Yes. How can I help you, Mr. Judge?
Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony.
I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown.
Sorry, that was a face you made.
In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night.
The plan!
Oh, we're gonna continue.
The whole plan began with my death. Stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya, and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
Because you took Maya and killed the mother.
So that means you were...
So that means you were...
Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fey?
Yes. You have a problem with that?
Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that...
Watch yourself, trite. If you've got a problem, it's overdoing the cross-examination. That's one of my rules.
Mr. Goto is correct. And by the way, that's one of my rules as well.
Kill Maya. Could it be true?
The plan. The whole plan began with my death.
Ah! You were executed last month, correct?
Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fey?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see. So that's when you discussed the plan.
Are you crazy? At first that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter.
All to make Pearl Fey the master of grain.
She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister Misty took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan.
A plan, huh?
A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fey to install her own daughter as the next master.
You're talking about Pearl Fey, is that correct?
Yes, although at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister, Iris? That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father.
Abandoned?
The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple.
You mean Iris?
Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general.
How horrible.
The really horrible one, it was that woman. That bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fey. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power, unfortunately for her. Morgan Fey heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams into that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. But for it to work, Maya Fey would first have to die.
Maya would have to die, but why?
For her bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya.
How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all.
It's ridiculous.
She was also willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well.
How could anyone do that?
The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris.
You were going to kill Maya?
Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me. So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, on Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think that it was Iris that had done it. And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night, but she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway.
But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her.
Backstab?
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
You think the plan was a success?
You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Now the title of the Masterbook pass on to Pearl Fey.
That's absurd. Maya's just... She's just trapped inside the sacred cavern.
Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Feeny. Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivety and your pathetic faith in other people.
I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fey's plan?
I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of.
If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya?
You may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that.
So then tell me, why?
Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction.
What did you say? Is this woman Dahlia Hawthorne? She had her own reason for wanting Maya dead?
Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was?
Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Fey.
Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious.
She wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal.
All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge.
Revenge? Looks like I had no choice but to present that piece of evidence. Can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I gotta keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well.
Okay, what's her motivation?
Revenge on Mia? Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself?
As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either.
You wanted to take revenge on someone?
I was sentenced to die because of that woman. Mia Fey!
Somehow knew this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. But the reason it was impossible was perhaps because Mia Fey had already died. Yes, and I realized there was only one way to take a revenge against the dead.
And how did you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans.
What about the fact that you killed her boy? Did we forget about that part?
But she didn't.
No, she didn't. Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. Hurrah.
As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And the boots with the fur. What a cruel plan. cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me.
The whole club was looking at her.
That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warning hood. Then I picked up the staff that was up by my side and left Hazakura Temple.
So, it was at least Dono who channeled her after all.
That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back clutching her poor old back.
What did you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and...
Oh, Kill Bill moment. So then, you're saying you stabbed Maya?
Strange. But I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean? No clear memory.
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
You were stabbed?
At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork.
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
Can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
That's where my memory temporarily stops.
It stops?
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern, surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern?
The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there. How did you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead, and I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. Oh, Ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get her out of there and make sure she was dead. I wanted to get out of there. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. The trick lock stopped you. Huh. I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside this sacred cavern?
Yes! I wanted to rid that annoying lock as soon as possible, but it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall.
What? Who?
Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge, so I made sure to hide myself well in the back of the sacred cavern.
That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya, Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll and gravy.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock, but I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started to gather. The bridge had been fixed, and the police had started their investigation. Pretty good impression, right? The bridge had been fixed, and the police had started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck?
After that big old earthquake, she showed up, all by herself.
real Iris.
She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean, your plan has succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I'd assumed that it was Pearl Fay.
Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fay, the picture book author.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fay. I wasn't able to kill her with my own 2 hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human could commit.
And that is...
Matricide. The sin of killing her own mother.
No way!
Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fay, but even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fay's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Ridiculous! That's nonsense!
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that Maya Fay has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? Eagle River? Maya Fay killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny?
No. Sorry, that's just my mom.
Oops. Sorry. That's my phone. I composed this piece myself.
Use the buttons from the Nokia.
Yeah.
What kind of ringtone is that?
Goto here. Okay. Thanks.
What? Was it something important?
I just finished removing the locks from the secret cavern.
That's great! What about Maya?
There was a woman in the cave.
Was it Maya Fay?
It was the accused, Sister Iris.
Huh?
Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that.
So, what about Maya? Where's she?
There was no one else found inside the secret cavern.
No, it can't be.
I told you, didn't I? She's dead.
No. No!
It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Donham, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death into the raging waters of Eagle River.
It can't be.
Tried. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable it may seem.
What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godo?
According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden, which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge. That's right, that's where she jumped from.
There's dirt down there.
But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there.
What?
Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite.
Sorry.
I just relax and think through the whole thing again.
I fixed him. Don't worry.
Good.
Yes, sir. So it's impossible.
And I forgive you now.
Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River. She broke her legs.
Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side.
She used a water bucket.
Water!
Do you have any evidence of a fusel claim? What is it?
It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness.
What did you say?
11 years ago, you jumped in the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. Whoops, dirt. As you can see, below the cliffs on this inner temple side is a big rock shelf.
Oh, you're right.
Yes, that's my name.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo.
So you finally figured it out. You... No!
Oh, water!
You're just playing with me! Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River! There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding!
You are. I don't piss her off when she finds that out. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River.
Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities.
Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be.
What? What is this one possibility you are talking about?
That's obviously a bluff! So where is her dead body then?
Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is in this very instant? Maya Fey is in this. There's only one possibility left. Namely, he's right here in this very courtroom.
What? Maya Fey is here!
You say she's here in my courtroom?
Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. this very moment, who was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little snivelly runt.
You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I've never failed at channeling someone. It's the first time it's happened.
Isn't there an explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Someone called me before Pearl did? But who?
Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct?
Ah!
It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. Misty. Guitar case.
No!
You telling me the guitar case isn't an ultimate summoning tool? This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left.
Come on already, I can't stand the tension.
Pulls out popcorn.
You.
Dahlia Hawthorne? The person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey.
What?
But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal?
She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her,
Well, Gramps, what would happen?
could it be?
Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't! What are you going on about?
What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. There's only one reason. Protect herself from you.
To protect herself from me?
Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura was now closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would the safest place to hide? Yeah.
Ah! You mean that's what she channeled me?
All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you.
No, don't say that! You saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Fey killed herself! Isn't it obvious?
Sorry, but no. It would have to be impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea?
Her sister. Well, me, of course. Or not. Hey, no, I was right. Yeah!
Mia Fey.
It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh.
So it's true. It was you.
Yes.
You're something else. But what are you doing here?
That hair. It's Pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to the night one more time. You just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness.
I was stabbed by Maya Fey.
Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
She did?
Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do.
She did that? I can't believe it.
Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was...
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there.
Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fae. Pearls. Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan. So all she was trying to do was follow her mother Morgan Faye's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Faye to kill Maya at all costs.
Yes, certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you! I won't forget this!
Why don't you just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne?
I do recommend you have your headphones on. Fix your hat now! Fix it!
Give me a second.
Fix it!
It's getting pushed back super far. I don't like my hat being that far back. Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure.
What? How dare you?
11 years ago. Fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth! That wasn't my fault! It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman!
And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. Oh yeah, you betcha. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny.
You! Wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face!
And now this. You've messed up again! You let Maya Faye escape, even though she was right there in front of you.
Mia Faye? Mia Faye! Mia Faye! Mia Faye! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Maya Faye like I swore I would! And if only I had gotten this spiky-haired junk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hated to death!
True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me.
What? What did you say?
Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I am around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on. Forever. It's very true, Dahlia. That's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. A miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp.
You're wrong! It can't be! How could I lose to the likes of you?
It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. That's a horrifying image. Holding the Magatama up.
I'm not ready to go!
The game's glitching!
No.
Save me! It's broken!
Sis.
Nobody rushed to her. Just
Yeah.
leave her there. We saved her, that's all that matters.
Now then, I assume you are the real Iris.
Yes. I was just rescued from the sacred cavern.
I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godo, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from.
Seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye as well as young Pearl. Faye were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan.
Yes, Your Honor.
The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again.
Your Honor?
Yes, what is it?
About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem with the concept now.
Well, to be frank,
That's her name.
my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a
Concerted?
Concerted.
Jesus Christ.
effort to study up on the Karain channeling technique.
Hey, isn't it the New Year's issue of, a cult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. Bitch. And in all the time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ.
Never thought of it that way.
At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Godo?
This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What?
Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony?
She didn't say it. She got knocked out. I'm trying to figure out who killed her. Huh? Dolly's testimony.
I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed.
Girl was sad.
Owies.
The only two I can think of is either pearls or it's bikini.
Those are bikini.
Those are the only two that I can think of.
Okay.
Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right.
The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia.
Either that or it was Morgan. Didn't have to channel anybody if she broke out and just...
She didn't break out. We would have known about that. And Morgan Faye is now dead. So. Oh, I suppose somebody can channel her now. But it wasn't explicitly stated that she was dead, but she is dead. At least Dilnham. No. Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it.
This isn't over?
Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence.
No way.
But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
The prosecution is ready to call our final witness.
Final witness?
This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye.
Is it Maya? Should be Maya.
Indeed.
Is it really alright? Mr. Prosecutor? Armando?
Of course it's alright. Madam Attorney.
Very well then. Who is this final witness?
Huh! Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case.
Is it someone who saw the murder take place?
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes.
You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's just been through.
We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand.
Oh, she's back. Oh.
That's Iris. My has to get changed.
Very well. But first we'll take a brief recess. My ass hurts. We have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey, Chite. I've got something to say to you, so listen up.
What is it?
I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you.
You've got some nerve.
But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself.
Okay.
That's enough. This court is now in recess.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. And that's it. And we're going to go to the final set of testimony. Oh, hold on. Can I save right now? No. Don't look at it. Don't look at the line. Don't look at it. And we're going to get to the final testimony coming from Maya Faye in...
I'm sorry about everything.
Oh,
The next episode.
Oh, well, first, that's it with Dahlia. That's everything with Dahlia and stuff.
Good.
Good? Good as in it was good, or good that despised it? Good, it's over.
Good, it's over.
What?
She's such a good bad guy that I hate her. I don't want to see her.
Oh, good, okay.
Just because I say I don't want to see her again doesn't mean the character was bad.
Well, some people have, like, people, I don't understand it, but people are like, oh, this character was an evil person, that means they're a bad character. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
God of War Ragnarok, Odin? Despise him.
He's a terrible character.
Fucking hate him.
Horrible character, yeah.
But a great character.
No! No! Bad people are bad characters.
I grew up with wrestling, which means I understand
That's true.
bad characters. You need a good bad guy to make the story feel good for when the good guy wins.
Yeah. So you think that it's either Pearl or Bikini who did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the only two that I can think of that would show up.
Okay. Well, don't think about it. Because we're going to think about it in the next episode. The thing we'll watch in this episode. Phoenix Iron City Trials and Tribulations, Rick Slice, Scrap, which is.
Justice for All?
What? No! Don't look at that! That's the previous game! Forget about everything.
Ace Attorney?
Bye-bye!